Well, hello, folks. So glad to have you here today. Hey, let me ask you a quick question. Have the hubcaps of your life fallen off, or the tires gone flat, so to speak? Could you use a fill up, some fresh oil? Well, welcome to the IMF service station, where you can get a checkup from the neck up. Well, hello there. George Gilmore, host of this week's version of the IMF service station. And we have a great guest with us today, and you're going to notice pretty quickly that he's not from this neck of the woods. And so let me introduce to you all a good friend of mine and ours at IMF, and that is Mr. Michael Ireland.
Thank you, George, for being here.
Well, yeah, thank you. And by the way, you're not from Ireland.
No, that's the last name.
Well, one of the things that we didn't have prepared in thought, but you and I have talked about it. And
Oh my, this is something from my past. What did I tell you, George?
That years ago, I happened to be with my family in London. And there was a Billy Graham crusade that was going on at Earl's Court. And come to find out, I was a young lad. But you were also, and you were there.
Yes. June 30th, 1966. I think it was a Thursday evening.
Yeah. And we didn't know each other.
No. And look how we are now together all these years later. Just amazing.
Isn't life a hoot?
Yeah, that was the night that my mum, dad, and I went to the Billy Graham crusade. And Billy got done preaching. He was preaching on that God wanted all of us to come to the knowledge of faith, the knowledge of his son, to believe in him and trust in him. And Billy Graham pointed up to the top of the auditorium, and that's where Mum, Dad, and I were sitting. And he said, if you're up at the back there, it'll take you 5 minutes to come down, and your bus will wait for you. Mum, Dad, and I came down, and we committed our lives to the Lord. And the next year, my dad became a counselor for the Billy Graham Crusade.
How about that?
Yeah.
And so here you are.
Now, where were you that night?
We were walking by because we were on vacation. As a young person, I was in high school, and we were just there on vacation. Just happened to be in that neighborhood, in that area. So it is a small world. Well, Michael, here you are, obviously in America.
Yes, I believe so.
Last time you checked, right? And so what was it that brought you to this country from where you came?
Oh my. Well, I have to say, the leading of the Lord.
Okay.
Yeah. I had been in a job that wasn't very good for me, and wasn't very good for them either. And I had always wanted to go to Bible school or Bible college, so after I left that one job, I went to Cape and Ray boarding school in the north of England. It was one of 12 Cape and Ray schools around the world, founded by Major Ian Thomas. You might know of Major Ian Thomas and Cape and Ray schools. And he was a major in the British Army. And he saw that the German youth after World War II were very sad, very disconsolate. And so he had Bible studies, and they turned into Bible schools all over the world. And so I went to the one in England. And that was in 81, 82. And I met many of the 200 students from 22 different countries, and was invited to Minneapolis to visit some friends I made there in Bible school. And that was the summer of 82.
And you've kind of been here almost ever since, huh?
Yes, I had to go home because immigration wouldn't change my visa in country. So I went back to England and came out after I got my visa, and I had to say that I was not going to take a job from an American, and I had disabled parents who wanted to see me back. But I did get my student visa, and I went to what was then St. Paul Bible College, now Crown College. And I turned up on December 30th, 1982, 16 inches of snow, and minus for the weather. And I wondered what happened to the weather since I was here in the summer. What did they do to me? Bait and switch.
Yes. That happens quite often here in Minnesota. Well, as I think about the fact that you came here from there, and the theme of our show,
Yes.
being pull your life into the service station here.
Okay.
Just thinking about from an automotive perspective, what kind of issues have you ever had with cars that you had?
What issues haven't I had with cars?
Oh.
First of all, is choosing one. I mean, there's so many cars out there. Okay, my first car was a Plymouth Horizon, a suitcase on wheels. Then I had a Mercury something. Then I had a Pontiac Grand Prix, which somebody rear-ended me, and that was the end of that one. Then I had another GM vehicle, and now then I had another one, which is a blue one, and now I'm on a red one. And when my cars broke down, George, the Lord really showed me goodwill and favor, because in the church I was in at the time, I borrowed 5 different cars over 5 different weeks, and the little boy next to us said, "Mister, do you own all those cars?" But I didn't go without a car for 5 weeks. I had 5 different cars, and that little boy was fascinated that a different car would turn up at the end of each week.
Just amazing. Well, it was interesting because I know I spent some time over in England, and they don't drive the same way they do here. Was there an adjustment period there with you?
Oh yes, because your brain is wired to work one way, driving on the correct side of the road, and then when you get to the States, you're driving on the right side of the road.
Kind of on that same theme, if you've owned a car, you've probably had repairs. You've probably had difficulties with it. Well, sometimes life can be a lot like that car.
Yeah.
And so your life, you are now involved in ministry. How? And you said you had started off by going to St. Paul Bible, which is now Crown College.
Yes.
And so what was ministry like from what you were coming from what you transitioned from to ministry?
Okay, so my father was responsible for getting me into ministry. I don't think he realized it, but when I came home from boarding school, because my mother was not well, and so I attended boarding school during the week, and I come home on weekends on a Friday night, and my father would take me to see Ernie and Elsie Fuller, who were both in their 80s, and we'd sit in their small house, and we'd have the television blaring because they were hard of hearing, and we'd have tea and biscuits, cookies, and my father would introduce me to the idea of being with senior citizens. So that's, I think, how I get to be volunteering with IMF through at Presbyterian Homes. I just came there, from there hotfoot this morning now, so I'm ready and rolling because I've been with my 85-year-olds.
Well, there you go. Amen. Well, obviously, probably a lot of things that you learned in that process. And I know we'd asked you earlier about that learning process, and you said, well, there are some things that we need to learn, change, grow, and adapt.
Yes.
Well, as we already talked about the driving issue.
Oh, yes.
You're driving this side, and then you're on this side. That you adapted.
Yeah.
And so what kind of things did you end up learning and growing in and changing?
Well, the first thing is, George, that the interruptions in our day are the ministry. And I like to be sort of organized as much as I can, but don't tell my wife because she likes to organize me. And so I don't like it too much when there's interruptions or things go zigzag instead of in a straight line. So I've had to learn to flex and take things as they come. And I also work with cadets 12 to 18 in Civil Air Patrol, the Air Force Auxiliary. So I've got 2 scenes where I have cadets and everything's up in the air and excitable and things change momentarily. And then I'm with seniors, and they also can throw you a curveball. The interruptions, the things that come my way when I've got something in mind that I'm going to be doing, something I've planned, and it goes out the window. Oh, well, that was ministry for the day.
Well, that's a good thought, that the interruptions in our day could really be ministry. And outstanding. Well, obviously, as we look at the life of Christ, we see lots of interruptions in his life. And he chose those times to minister to others. But in that whole process of what you've gone through in life so far, what would you say has probably been your biggest joys or challenges?
Okay, so that's got to be sharing with others the love and joy of Jesus that I've found in my life, and being willing and able and have the opportunity to share that joy with other people. And those who know me, and even those who don't, will recognize that I have a quirky sense of humor. And see, I made you laugh. See, there we go. Chalk one up. So the love and joy of Jesus, and seeing on the faces of the seniors that I work with that they recognize here's somebody who's paying them attention, and sharing something that is meaningful. And they might not know necessarily right off the bat that it's the joy of Jesus, but they know that something is going on. They know that something's a catalyst that makes me be there and share with them Bible topics and services that I do. I also do one-to-one visits. I do hospital visitation, and what's the other thing I do? Oh, I've forgotten.
Well, you mentioned the Air Corps.
Yes. Oh, yes. So with the Civil Air Patrol, I teach character development, and I'm still working on that one myself. So the Civil Air Patrol is the official auxiliary of the Air Force, and we come under 1st Air Force. And so we have cadets who are 12 to 18. We meet weekly, and that they learn things about aerospace, education, emergency services. They do cadet programs, which is how they get to promote. And then they do PT once a week. I missed that one, George. I deliberately missed that one. I got a backache or something, So I get to be there at least once a month to do character development. We have 24 lessons, one a month. So it's over 2 years. And then they are like hashtag teamwork or hashtag friendship. And I just did the one on teamwork, George. I'd love you to ask me how I taught teamwork.
How did you teach teamwork?
George, I'm glad you asked me that question. What I had them do was each take off one shoe and put it along the wall, and then go back to their groups. They're in groups of 5 or 6, or there are 5 or 6 groups, maybe 35 or 40 cadets. And then I had one group at a time go up and try and find the owner of the missing shoe. And they were to do this in total silence. No verbal communication. Now, I know for you and I, George, that's going to be difficult. We could just sit here, but our producer might get bored if we have total silence. So it's amazing. These cadets found the right shoe for the right person in about 12 or 13 minutes flat. 12 or 13 minutes flat. Without a single word said. They were pointing, they were using body language. Yes, it was just amazing.
And the purpose again of that lesson was?
Teamwork. They were learning to work as a team together without saying anything to each other. I mean, that's a brand new concept. Teamwork without verbal communication.
And nothing with their thumbs?
No cell phones allowed.
Wow.
No laptops, no tablets. No.
Wow, that was something else.
Yeah.
Well, as you think about those types of things, and certainly you're in situations where maybe you need to sit down with people and give some advice.
Oh, George.
And so that I don't know what the parameters are for that, but what kind of advice do you find yourself needing to give people?
Or if I'm given the opportunity, which I am on several occasions, it's pray, 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 prepare, 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 preach, preach, preach. This is for us, those of us who know the Lord, and we've got a calling to serve Him in whatever area it is. Always be ready to give an answer for the hope that's within us. So when people do ask me, I'm ready to say, well, this is the reason, and I try not to shy away from that. And then something I learned in evangelism was love, love, love. Listen, listen, listen. Learn, learn, learn. And that gives us the right to be heard.
Well, is there anything else that you think would be important for people to know about you that you would like to share with them?
First off, get your head in the game and stay in the game even when it gets tough. Always remember that God's on your side. He's by your side, and He's with you and never leave you nor forsake you. He's for you and not against you. George, we've read the book, we've seen the movie, and we know how the story ends. And we win, and God is on the throne now and forever.
Well, folks, that's today's stop at the IMF service station. Hey, have you been running on empty yourself? Or wondered about those warning lights on the dashboard of your life? Well, you're not alone. There's a place for you here. If this episode has encouraged you, be sure to like and subscribe and share it with someone who needs a fill up themselves. You can visit us online at imfserves.org and follow us on social media to keep up with all things IMF, where we serve those who serve others. Well, we'll see you at the next stop.